Hey, royalties of peace, stealing the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. How are we all doing today? Another water day. Yes, it is a Wednesday. Today is May 17th of 2023. And here your host, Marist Free. How are we doing? How are we doing? Continuation about lost. Looking onto our reunion or union. Whatever it is to you of this fusing together to one battlefield free. Our journey of peace in the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace. Yes, please witness with me of this journey. Must we be able to observe carefully, with dignity, our history, our past, the life of our ancestors, our parents, considering the fact that there is beauty in every existence. Yes, before we can reach our perfect peace, we know we never travel alone. Don't know in self is very important. Acknowledging self is very important. Yet we know we are not traveling alone. On this journey, all together, looking forward to be one, of battlefield free of the mind. Must we be able to reflect on self very critically, very detailedly, to know the God of self before can know the God of each other. We must be able to express the God of self that we are, so we know how to tackle our mistakes and guard ourselves and protect ourselves from becoming more bruised. Yet acknowledging others may also have weaknesses. Seeking wellness, our encouragement of each other onto wellness. We might have learned that losting is a complicated process of life. Many consider it a rejectable, which is like a cornerstone. If left out, will the mansion be impossible to stand effectively? Yes, we must be able to lust after each other, must also be able to lust after self first. We must learn how to lust after self, of expected to be able to lust after another. Just like how we say it is very important to be able to love self effectively, to be able to love another healthily. Yes, royalties of peace, stealing the storm back to peace that has no storm. We know it is impossible to love without lust. Some try to avoid the presence of lust, just calling it love. After hearing others mistreating lust, maljudgment, misjudgments on lust. But some understand there is a distinction between the two, while others try to fuse and blend lost into love, or give it another sense of being meant for the special. Everyone do lost. Everyone do lost. Be after the one you admire or the one you hate. Before you hate, you must have lost after this one that you hate. There must have been a reason why you were interested before you turned to hate. There must have been an attention. Lust is an attention so strong. Sometimes the hate comes so strong that you do not even witness the lust that has already played before you hate. We can never ignore the roots of a tree, which is why lust must not be ignored. That even when you find yourself loving, you must go back and reflect on where lust started and ended, to make sure lust is of expected, to make sure you tackled lust of expected, to make sure the roots are stable and well anchored, to make sure the foundation is stable, so your mansion do not come down like a bubble or your tree falling. Your love should never break. Without the roots, we cannot have a tree. Therefore, without lust, we cannot have love of expected. Will the tree without roots be only a plastic tree? So will the love we play without lust a plastic love. A plastic love, never fulfilling. A plastic love is not a living love, but still a process to reach the understanding of lust, to achieve true love. Did I say in the last video that I did watch this show, The Revolt Studios, presented by our royalty, Angie Martinez, presenting these amazing, powerful women. I did recognize 3 of them because they're very popular and have been in a whole long time of our being, which are royalty Michelle Obama, royalty Tina Knowles, and royalty Kelly Rowland. And the other 3, the host of the studio show, whom I do not know, but until this video that I recognized and do distinct her being of us all like drops of water reuniting to this one beautiful, evaporating to battlefield free. Royalty Angie Martinez and the other 2 very young ladies, royalty Whitney Harlow, a supermodel of her special being and unique, a blending of white and black. People that when you see a scripture, a figurative and an abstract together. And the other royalty Gabriella Samantha Wilson. Royalty Gabriella Wilson. HER Music Official. Very young and talented. Brown skin girl. They are all brown skin girls. This video is very exceptional. It will be great if you can watch it. And it was all about the introduction of Royalty Michelle Obama's book, The Light We Carry. I really have to read this book. There are some books that I have been promising myself to read them. I owe a debt to these books and I have to really read them. This is now one of them, The Light We Carry. I cannot wait to get that book. In the book, she explains of our need of nurturing, explaining that the most important of responsibility now that we have is parenting. The need of thinking out loud, bringing out your vulnerability, the need for others to know your challenges. Sometimes it's very, very scary to bring out your challenges, like thinking that others may take an advantage of you. Yet, you must be able to do right, no matter the complications, because they are right out there. Must you be able to put yourself in a place where you can have a shield onto those who throw tantrums, while you receive a lesson from the tantrums, reversing the tantrums to lessons, and grab your blessings from those who are able to provide your responses to your challenges. A very amazing video. It really bundled me up. Those videos that help you gather yourself together. I felt like a woman. I felt like an important drop of water evaporating. Not only a drop, but a drop of water evaporating. Okay? A very great video. And we have Royalty Tina Noor giving all her insight of how she raised the three girls, the Destiny Childs. And my favorite among them at that time when I was young was Royalty Kelly Rowland. And she was also in this video. I was so excited. Like, whoa, it was like 3 bundles of me put together for me to grasp myself back. When you fall, you need one that looks like you. One that looks like you begins to look like a mirror image of you, that when you stand up and then you realize, oh, they are not just a mirror image, they are a whole person, a whole personality of self. When you fall short of knowledge, you begin to see others like mirror images, like a reflection that you have to grasp, or you looking like the reflection that needs to become expected of person, that when you stand, you realize, whoa, we are all individual drops, just putting ourselves together back to well-being. This great video. I really look up to watch more of videos like this, of group of women, of strong women, of great women coming together to express their weaknesses and simplicity of selves. It was amazing. Okay, it was amazing. I even heard of Royalty Kelly Rowland saying that she will ask herself, what will Royalty Michelle Obama do at this time? Like, what would the First Lady do when she falls short of herself? It was amazing to know that people like this also have, this challenges that they have to step up to, like a child. The child in them is still there, though they are all looking so great of being. I was really impressed. And this brings us back to understand what it takes to grasp lust. Though feeling like already lovers, must we go back to the seed? Lust, like a child, very fragile. Have I been trying for us to understand the need to be careful not to burst the bubble? We must teach the young to be able to embrace themselves effectively. They were all talking about how hard it is to let your child go out, like the one under your care, to go out to face themselves of independent and no longer dependent. It's very struggling. You will obviously see them bruise themselves and hurt themselves, a very complicated side, yet their lessons become a blessing. What are we looking for? After hearing them, I begin to understand that what we're looking forward is a better generation who need not be too bruised. If your bruising can only be the site of your mother's bruising, wouldn't that be enough bruising for you, child? Everyone will get bruised. Of course, everyone will get to the awareness of their diagnosis of seeking wellness, the diagnosis of falling. Everyone in the flesh being right now, we understand that we are facing a challenge of wearing flesh, be of willingly or not willingly into the flesh of being. We understand that there's a challenge of wearing flesh. We struggle with this flesh being of carrying it up every day, having to restore it every night, waking up and trying to be of expected. Must be able to find ourselves. That even when someone is supporting you, you should be able to stand when you are alone. Because the one supporting you may also need your support tomorrow. But now we must be able not to exploit each other. Of some, helping you is to bring more challenges for you of themselves for you to help them with. Must be able to know each other of our differences. If you're trying to be the thumb to help the pointer finger, do not go try to bring another thumb to add onto the load of the pointer if the pointer has to help you. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It's very, very important for us to know each other's boundaries. It's what they were trying to say in this video, talking about protecting your armor, yourself, the self-God of you. Having these challenges does not mean that you're not the God of you. You must know the God you are, so you know your weaknesses. And this takes understanding perfect peace. If you understand the perfect peace, the basic of us all, you are able to at least identify the first weaknesses of self. And once that is recovered, you become of greater, and then you begin to realize another weakness that you could not see while you were still of the basic understanding. That when you comprehend these weaknesses, you are able to hold yourself of expected and guard yourself so you be not bruised. What you have of sight is not what you have of action, except you let the sight become of your action. What you have of sight only tells yourself to be of protective, to not become of active of the complicated, but only of the expected of what you have of sight. Lost, what you admire, what you desire, what you lust after. Yes, weddings are coming up. And like I was saying of the last video, it's very hard for parents to see their beloved ones getting married. Most of the time, we just give our hearts all to the bride and the groom, forgetting the parents of the bride and the grooms, what they're going through. It's harder than even those having the wedding, because when you are in the process of the challenge, you don't really feel it that much because you're fighting it at the same time. Those who really feel it are those who are sitting back watching at you. Those are the ones that are really feeling what you're going through. Seriously. Because you're running and running. You may not even be having the sight of what is chasing you. Okay? Because you're so into the running away from it. You're focused on your running. Those that are really seeing what you're going through and seeing what is chasing you are those that are looking after you. And they are going, oh my gosh, you better be going so faster, so faster. I just want us to really have an understanding of what I'm saying, the figurative expression of what is really going on when it comes to having ones that you love, how to love another, you must be able to love yourself first. You must be able to lust after yourself first, healthily, of expected. Then you can be able to love another expectedly. You can be able to lust after another expectedly. Today I also mentioned about our bodies, talking about the mind, the brain, the left controlling the right, and the right controlling the left. All this just trying to help us to understand that what a woman carries is a man's body, and what a man carries is a woman's body. And the same reason why the men lust after the women. And it takes the man to grasp his body from the woman for the woman to be free. The same reason why the woman carries the body, even the body even than the man's body. The woman shows off so much. Like, you want your candy? You want your candy, bro? Bro, you want your candy? And he's like, oh boy, she has my body. How do I get it? Learn to love the one you have with you. Learn how to lust on the one you have with you, and then you'll be able to lust on yours of expectedly. Treat mine nicely, then you'll be able to treat yours with no exception. If you can take care of another's child, then you'll be able to take care of yours with no problem. Have you ever heard of switching lovers, love swaps, the love swappers? If you can take care of mine effectively, then you can take care of yours. When we switch our lovers, you cannot reproduce with mine. You cannot go in between the legs. Seriously, I need to come out clean and clear. The truth is bitter but must be spoken. The things you cannot do with my man is what you cannot do with yours. It's clean and clear. If we really have to go to this place of perfect peace, we must know how to lust of expectedly. We must know how to love of expectedly. Romance, place of expected. Let two lovers swap lovers. All that you do for each other, you can do except that in between the legs. The reason why the genital is the first at the center coming out of the brain, the coordinations of the mind. If you did see the video that I was trying to show to us on the cell phone of how the brain is the network of the brain, of the body parts connected. The genital the first, the center, and then the others coming out. And the head is finally last. The base is the head. How we treat the head really matters. How we treat the base really matters. The most gentle and most important and vital of us is the genital. Lust is the most vital of love, of all loves that we know. Even agape love cannot be achieved if you do not know how to handle romance. If you do not know how to handle lust in romance. The heart of love is lust. Is someone hearing me? The heart of the tree is its roots. If you do not know how to handle the roots effectively, the tree struggles. You will not lose the tree, but the tree will struggle. And that will give you the reason why you have to search, why we have been searching and searching and searching to find out what the problem is until we've gotten to the point of, oh, if it's not this, then surely it's that. When we go to that, if it's not that, surely it's this. What is causing the problem? Until you find the source of the problem. The hidden, the roots hiding under the ground, needing water. You need to water the roots. When you've given all that the tree needs, chlorophyll, air, all that the tree needs, and not watering the tree, the roots. No matter how much water you give to the tree, if it doesn't reach the roots, the tree struggles. Yes, the last of all that needs care is the roots. the roots of the tree. The roots of the tree are roots, all one. The root of the tree. Understanding lost with me. Advancing on to wedding bells, which are very louder in the summer. After graduation will be my wedding. I cannot get married right now until I finish school. Most great people will always express. Most responsible people. Self-discipline. Individuals will tell you, I must be able to complete my school before I get married. If you had graduated last year, maybe this summer is your wedding. What will your wedding be all about? When we understand, if I graduated last summer and I am wedding this summer, must I have learned what lost is? What did you graduate from? PhD in this, PhD in that. What about your PhD in lost? All this PhD just to understand how to take care of lost, how to handle lost. It may sound stupid, but it's the truth. The bitter truth. After all of this learning of how to be a doctor, a medical doctor, a teacher, a therapist, all to understand lost, just to understand lost, makes us seem like silly people. But we are not silly. We are of higher being. It is very important to respect even the least of us. That if you neglect the least of us, we stay in jeopardy. The foundation is not sin, does not mean it's least. Must be appreciated to be able to carry the mansion of expected. Our private parts, the hidden parts, very, very important. You may say, don't talk about that here. Oh, you're so pervert. When you tell a man he's pervert, it's only meaning that we haven't understood lost. We have failed to know how to lost. We have failed. We have to retrain ourselves how to lost. The missing part of us, lost. The hidden part of us, lost. The hidden part of us, our genitals. How do we treat our genitals? Trying to break mine, you will break yours. When a man comes to a woman trying to get intimate, before you know it, you have babies falling left and right. It's amazing how royalty, Michelle Obama talked about after having the babies, going outing becomes different. Of when you're just two of you, each other going out didn't matter. Going out for your errands didn't matter. Even your important appointments begin to be questionable when you have children. Like, when are you coming back? What time? What? No, what about will I be the only one with children in the house? I also have things to do. You find yourself trying to blame the children to be a problem, and at the same time feeling guilty of how will I put the blame on the children. The time to educate the children what love is, what reuniting, what union is, what a wedding is solving lost. When you solve lost, you find yourself ascending expectedly and not enabling a complicated grief of staying stagnant. When we know our fusing together is to evaporate, to battlefield free, we do not find ourselves jeopardizing our journey to perfect peace by enabling complicated states of our pieces falling, your heart out of your chest. They were all trying to express of what it's like to have your child. It's like your heart out of your chest. You feel like you are carrying another burden instead of a blessing. Having your gold where there is rust. You feel like you've misplaced your gold. Yet you must be able to educate this gold. You know that what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. But will you keep on dying because you can never die? You must be able to enable awareness of diagnosis, seeking wellness of our ascending is love that fuses us back to perfect. Advancing out of this complicated state healthily. I did really admire the two ladies in their 20s. It was a group of 20s and 60s, a circle of 20s and 60s. It was amazing to see how we think, this generation of thinkers, and the 20s of more vulnerable, of how they are trying to experience life, having those in their 60s already of solution giving. The solution is already written in our parents when we look at it. It's a matter of mastering and training self of expected by learning from their mistakes. Michelle Obama was talking about how the common sense of her parents raised two strong, great beings, she and her brother, and that helps us understand. We learn from our parents' mistakes by turning them into lessons, and then we achieve the blessings together. It becomes lessons and blessings, and we see not the mistakes, so we don't keep ourselves being bruised. Now, our going out should not be going out expecting to be bruised, but with the lessons and blessings, having the fullness of knowledge. It's about getting to the destination of no more bruising. Will give us the mindset of bringing not another in. If we are already of completion, the 60-year-olds feeling more confidential, having no filter, where Tina was talking about, having no more filter. Like, why will you keep on trying to make someone that will have a filter when you are in a place of having no more filter, and they're being guilty, like, oh, please have a filter, and you're like, we see a contradicting of our adults and the youths, of what are we doing, going back again to being of filtering. When we have no more filters, we are all already completed. When you complete, everything becomes a lesson and a blessing. But the kids don't understand that. They see the lessons like a mistake because they are still kids, which is why we have to complete. It should already give us a closure. Humanity's closure is ascending from the complicated state back to uncomplicated, from the ice state to the place of gaseous freedom. If we are ascending, we need not descend another. It's time to work on our admiration process of lusting, not an upside down Holy Grail, but upright, should be without bruising. Let us embrace each other without bruising. Let's hug without tearing us apart or making pieces falling. The physical state is limited. Must we be able to understand? So when we are loving on each other, we are very, very careful. Protect your armor. Protect your armor, the base. The base is your armor. Shield it with abstinence. When the new love is abstinence. Sexuality is abstinence. The new sexuality is abstinence. Does not cancel romance. Let us reflect gracefully, with dignity with each other, understanding what we have been missing all this while, lost. How to navigate lost early in life before even becoming married. The first piece of love is lost, the seed. The roots. Peace tilling the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace. Royalties Obama quoted from her book, caring for your kids and watching them grow is one of the most rewarding endeavors on earth. And at the same time, it can drive you nuts. It can drive you nuts. What does that tell you, oh young people? Those who have not yet experienced being a parent, biological parents. Parenting is good, but biological parents is questioning. Because parenting is teaching the young well so they lead the way of advancing to wellness. Because when you get out of this world and look back and seeing them doing just right, they lead you right. But when you look back and see them falling apart, you can also fall again. Bringing down deprives us from ascending of expected. Must we all be ascending? Struggling with vulnerability is what we are experiencing today. Must we be able to grasp what lost is? Lost is love so strong that if you know how to self-control with it, then you can love. Because you lost every day. Calling it love. We haven't reached love yet. We are still lost in. Even when after having the wedding, we are still lost in not loving. We are still building the foundation, not the mansion yet. Ice can sublime into gas. Why should we melt into liquid when ice can sublime into the gaseous state of perfect? Let us peace still the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking unto perfect peace, with fullness of knowledge and not half of knowledge. The need of balance. Must we hold on to perfect peace? Protecting a child is motherhood. Not being a biological mother is the challenge of protecting a child that is really motherhood. Let us fix where we have a leak so we be of right motherhood. Mother's Day was last Sunday. Hope we are loving on each other on this journey of peace tilling the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace. Not bruising, not even enabling, even triggers. Abstinence is resting of the base to be restored of the mind, advancing to perfect peace. Thank you, Royalties, for watching today. Happy Water Day. Peace tilling the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace.